What's going on there, Fit Fam? How's it going? Coach Paul here. All right, guys, Training Tuesday. We're back at you. So you may be wondering why I'm sitting down on the floor here. Well, that's because today's topic, we'll be covering those planks. All right, from the high to the low. So guys, planks are a great core exercise to knock out. All right, it'll work your shoulders, it'll work your biceps, it can work your quads, it can work your hamstrings. It's a total body movement when you create that tension the right way. Okay, so let's go through these levels here, the modifications and whatnot. So, I'm sorry, I see some like blue little speck on the duster, that mat. Owl eyes, squirrel. All right, guys, so here we go. So when you start off with the plank, y'all, very, very, very simple. So kind of first things first, lay down flat in that mat here. We want to make sure when you're in a plank position, okay, you want to make sure these elbows, all right, see that we're in a 90-degree plane and line from the elbow through that shoulder. That is going to be the first step there. Now you're going to make sure both elbows are in line there. You may have the palms planted on this mat so we have a nice good tension and we're not sliding around in case those forearms are nice and sweaty. Now for that mod on that knees here. All right, so level 1 there, guys, you're on these knees here. Now I'm gonna start off with some wrong things here to kind of show you what not to do. So right here, you see that lower back, it is arched. Now I know my head is, I'm looking towards that camera, guys, but we wanna make sure we keep it neutral, okay? We're not gonna be looking down, nor looking up like so with the overarchings. That causes a lot of pressure within this lower back, okay? That's that lumbar. Now, let me reset position. Elbows in line, my palms are on this mat. Now, I'm gonna push up off the knees, and instead of having this arch, what you're gonna do is tuck in those hips. That core should be nice and tight now. Now, obviously here, level 1 here, make sure your shoulder blades are drawn back there. Your pressure forms into that mat hard as you can. To feel that core nice and tight, be sure to pull belly button to that spine. Think about someone's trying to kick you, punch you in the stomach, you kind of suck in like, you brace, right there, you see that? I brace, guys, my back kind of tucked in there. That is how you knock out that proper plank. Now, even from the toes there, all right, you want to make sure you're not overarching lower back. We don't have booties up in the air. We want to make sure elbows are not out in the front here. Okay, what that does is cause a lot of pressure on your front of your delts there. We're not trying to cause too much shoulder pain. Now, the main key with the planks there, you really want to make sure that we're retracting back the shoulder blades. You're probably thinking, shoulder blades retract, what do you mean? Well, what I mean by that is when you are down here, right? So look at my shoulder blade level here. So I'm up around it right here, right? Now, I'm drawing back. You see my body weight, how it shifted backwards? I'm now creating that tension in my body, so my shoulder blades are backing down. I'm no longer here. Okay, if you're doing this, you're hurting that upper back. Now, core's tucked in, but there's no tension. We're supposed to be feeling that. So draw those shoulders back. So you really feel right there, midline, right there where that belly button's at. You can tuck in that core. You really want to make sure, right, I'm just getting a view with my toes here, right, that these toes, when you're performing these planks, you are literally pushing your feet into the mat. Think about you're trying to, okay, so example, like your forearms here, toes there, you're trying to spread that floor, okay, with your body as you create that plank. It is a tense movement. So we really want to make sure that we're not just casually hanging out on the floor. And I'm going to show you just like so. Okay, nothing's engaged there, not at all. Now I'm going to push my forearms engaged there, draw the shoulder blades back. Now I'm going to push away with those toes, creating that tension there. To where even as I speak, it's kind of hard to talk because that tension is being created in my belly. My core is tucked in, holding that plank nice and tight. As you see, body is rigid and stiff there. Even on the toes, if I drop down, it's almost like I'm pushing away. You will feel that plank nice and proper. It's the same thing as you knock out a high plank. You want to make sure your hands stay stacked from wrist, elbow to that shoulder. Keep it a neutral spine. You say neutral, oh, what's neutral? Once again, with that neutral spine, all that means is that you're not gonna arch that lumbar. We're gonna tuck it in like so. Okay, again, shoulders drawn back. Here's that high plank position. You wanna make sure you're not rounded out like so, or butts in the air. Again, drop the hips forward. We're on those toes, creating that tension press through the palms. When you press through the palms, press through those thumbs as you create that tension. Again, make sure hands are staying stacked from wrist, elbow, into that shoulder. Now, the high plank is not too sophisticated as far as that low plank goes. You're at a higher advantage here or higher angle. Okay, so your mechanical advantage here is a whole lot better than being on the forearms here. But again, the emphasis here, make sure again, butt's not in the air. We're down, nice and flat. Head is in neutral position, meaning we're not looking forward. We find that focal point in the front, just like you would for that push-up. All right, fam. So I hope that helps you out, y'all. Again, you want to make sure that you are tucking in the hips, okay? By tucking, I'll show you one more time. All right, we talk about this all the time. So here we go. We have that arch in the back. What we mean by tucking is hips shoot forward to where you feel this butt muscle up on top start to engage. That's how you know you have a neutral spine. You feel these muscles engage and are nice, intense. Okay, so anytime you wonder what does it mean by neutral spine, that's what we're talking about. Okay, fam. So hope that helps clarify some things for that plank. Just a reminder again, don't overarch that lower back. Pull that belly button to that spine. Tense that body up. Drive the forearms into the mat. Dig the toes into that mat. Create that tension like you're trying to spread your body across that mat. Once you do so, you will feel that core really try to stretch out there, guys. So again, hope that helps you out there. Trainer Tip Tuesday. Have a great day, y'all.